and boom goes the dynamite.
Welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show. This is the Daily Dive. I'm your host, Michael Carvelis. To everyone on the West Coast, good morning. And to everyone on the East Coast, good afternoon. It's time for lunch and some lacrosse talk. On today's show, I'll talk about NLL Finals Game 1 reaction and, of course, Game 2 preview. And the rumors that how we got to ESPN2 instead of ESPNU. Our second segment will be Josh Byrne is out again. Big deal? No big deal. And our last brew presented by BRS Coffee Company code Daily Dive, Duke versus Notre Dame, and we'll also pour one out for Penn State fans. I'm terrible. Okay, go to Daily Dive Lax on social media and click the link tree and then click our store to shop everything with this awesome logo on it. When you do, it's the best and most efficient way to support our show as we try to grow the game. Thank you for that. It's Daily Dive Lax, social media, click the link tree and then our store. Our top story presented by Daily Dive Lax with our store tab is NLL Finals Game 1 review and Game 2 preview. So in Game 1, the Buffalo Bandits, as I broke, part of the Daily Dive news, on Friday, maybe Saturday. But Josh Byrne was not playing. And I had told you guys that Dane Smith was my MVP because Josh Byrne had already missed 3 games earlier this season, along with some other players. As you know, of course, Christian Del Bianco did win that award, and all credit to him. But it was interesting that Josh Byrne was not playing in the game. Apparently, he had an upper body injury that the broadcast of John Abbott on the broadcast said he was battling through it against Toronto. Not sure if it was Game 1 and Game 2. Not sure when it happened. There was speculation of when Billy freaking Hosstrauser decided he was going to sit down on the leg and kind of twist it around, that it might have been a foot injury, like an ankle injury, and it wasn't. It was an upper body injury. Again, I'm calling out Billy Hosstrauser because it has to be said, I did not appreciate what I saw from First Line Lacrosse when they talked about that on social media, but apparently it was not that, and Billy better be grateful. So, with that being said, though, the Buffalo Bandits in Buffalo, in front of like 14,500 fans, was kind of surprised it wasn't more because we've seen 16,000 before. Well, Dane Smith came out swinging. Dane Smith had a hat trick in the first 4 goals. Bandits went up 4-0 and looked like, oh boy, here we go again, the best team in lacrosse. And then those pesky Mammoths just kept on checking and picking and hitting the net, and Dylan Ward made some awesome saves, and all of a sudden, the Mammoth led at halftime, I believe it was 9-8. That's insane. If you watch the first 8 to 10 minutes of that game, you'd be like, oh boy, this thing is a wrap in 1.5 games. And the Mammoth somehow led at halftime. Insane. There was a rookie who got on the board early. There was this guy who you didn't really hear of that were scoring. Of course, Eli McLaughlin, the Liger, was impressive. Connor Robinson had a goal or 2. Zed Williams looked okay. Ryan Lee did as well. But Liger and the crew, the others, really stepped up for Colorado. And, of course, Dylan Ward made some great saves late. Second half rolls around. Bandits again, pepper the net. Dane Smith gets his 4th goal, and all of a sudden, all things are great again. And the Bandits look like they're on their way to cruising again. I had the covering 1.5, and they couldn't even do it. In fact, it was so close. Okay, so I want to mention this. 2 times this season, remember this Toronto Rock where the Bandits took a shot at the empty net where they already were leading by 1, and then Matt Vince had to make an insane save? Well, multiply that times 10, because in this game, Dane Smith is in the far corner, shoots a bouncer across the arena. And of course, the Mammoth are going to pick it up unless Dane Smith has got some weird trick he's learned about. I don't care if it was Dane Smith, Josh Byrne. I don't care if it was John Tavares. That shot's not going in, hampered by at least 2 or 3 guys, then throwing a prayer. Like, why? Be aware of the time, Dane. I'll get to this in a little bit. Dane Smith is 0-3 in championships, and now I'm low-key kind of seeing why. Because Dane Smith scored 3 quick goals, then a 4th goal to start the 3rd quarter. All of a sudden, he's like disappeared, for crying out loud. And so Mammoth had a chance. They get behind Matt Vince in a dunk attempt. Somehow, some way, the Bandits avoided overtime. Again, both halves started the same. 4-goal run for the Bandits. 4-goal run for the Bandits. Mammoth chopped back. Mammoth could lead at the halftime, and Mammoth almost forced an overtime. That's an issue. You almost wonder if Josh Byrne would have helped right there. But for Game 2, today at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, there will be no Josh Byrne. And I'll get to more of that in the next segments. As you'll notice, Brett Fruit, 2 things to talk about here. Somehow, someway, the NLL was bumped from ESPNU to ESPN2 on Saturday. That was Game 1, of course. Remember, we got to see Penn State lose in heartbreaking fashion to Duke in overtime. Then Notre Dame beat Virginia in overtime. 2 great games. And on the same ESPN2 channel, NLL Finals Game 1. There are rumors that I've been hearing that Brett Fruit apparently, if this is true, I'll absolutely love this. He apparently had a meeting with some ESPN executives or whatever, wherever that whole broadcasting scheduling thing works, and pretty much told him we're going to be on ESPN2. I don't know how he did it. Remember, for the last couple of weeks and couple of months, I've been saying, Brett, come on, man, where you at, bro? And he showed up. And not only that, John Gertler, who we had on the show Friday, did say he was going to have Brett at the game at halftime. So what did I do? I tuned in because I'm awesome. Okay, let's check it out. Here's my synopsis of this, by the way. That's on the reaction to this. NLL Commissioner Brett Fruit joined John Gertler on WGR 550, and a couple of notes stood out to me. This is my tweet. I'm just reading this verbatim. He teased some offseason changes to help the league grow. It was kind of like the way he said it was like really nice and subtle. It was like, yeah, we're working on some things, and we're ready to hit the ground running this offseason. Like, oh boy, let's go. And of course, he mentioned there was going to be a few changes. And I don't know what that is. He didn't expand on that, but boy, oh boy, I love that he said that, because again, I've been looking for this guy and could not find him. But in this game, he showed up, even on Twitter. He retweeted it. This is great. This is wonderful. So Brett Fruit, and by the way, his last tweet was on Mother's Day, just to let you know. But he said there's going to be some offseason changes. I was like, okay, let's go. He also said he wants to get sponsors that don't just, quote, slap their logo on everything, but instead want to connect with fans and, quote, create content. Remember, Brett Fruit comes from NASCAR. If you know anything about NASCAR, even if you don't watch the sport, you know there's a logo on everything. The McDonald's car, the M&M's car, there's all kind of logos. But Brett Fruit said he doesn't want that. He's seen what that can do in NASCAR. He's also seen how some sponsors will help create content. Like I believe Pennzoil, when Kevin Harvick was with them, or Joey Logano, which I think both of them actually, in NASCAR, Pennzoil would have these commercials with like a tiny Kevin Harvick or a tiny Joey Logano. They were funny. They were cool. And I would love to see a sponsor in the NLL have a Dane Smith commercial. Boy, woo! Or a Jeff T commercial. Like we could, it'd just be fun. It'd be fun if we got like some awesome stars in the NLL. Maybe like Christian Delbianco gets an MVP commercial. I don't know how it would work. I'm not in that department. I could probably think of something, but maybe I can think of something tomorrow and just shove it to you guys' faces, but who knows? But no, it was great that Brett Fruit said that, because he wants sponsors that will invest in the sport, that will help it grow, and he believes creating content with that stuff. And I'm just using commercials as an example. But love it. I love this from Brett Fruit. When I come back, I'll talk more about what he's talked about, and also we'll preview game 2 and talk about Josh Byrne's mysterious injury. We'll be right back to Daily Dive. If that doesn't get you pumped about, I don't know what will. We've had a few guests that have loved that music. I love the music as well. Let's get back to this Brett Fruit conversation I was having. Remember, he teased some offseason changes. Didn't expand on it, but I love that he said that to help the sport grow. Wants to get the sponsors that don't just slap their logo on everything, but also want to connect with fans and create content. And then my next tweet was this, which I learned from Brett Fruit. In terms of league expansion, Fruit acknowledged that there are cities in the U.S. and Canada that could host NLL teams. He did not specify where. But what he did say was he mentioned that getting new fans in places that don't have teams, like Nashville, St. Louis, and Tampa, would be vital to growing. Now, not to confuse you, I did not mean he was going to expand with those teams, with those cities. He was simply saying, places like, Tampa, Nashville, St. Louis, those places that don't have fans, how can we get them to watch NLL content, which I loved. And also he mentioned a daily basis for fans to connect. Listen, I mean, good. A daily. What could be daily? Oh, the Daily Dive. That's right. Reminder that I am privileged to host this Monday through Friday live lacrosse talk show, Daily Dive. Can't wait for season 2 for us and the commissioner. It's funny that Brett Fruit jumped on this thing in September, and so did your boy, Michael Carvelis. Thank you. This segment is presented by Fanatics. Head to Daily Dive Lax on social media. Click the Fanatics logo in the link tree, and you too can buy some awesome gear from any sport, any league. Just check it out. You have to, when you go shop NLL and Fanatics, you have to go to Daily Dive Lax, click the link tree, click the Fanatics logo, click more on the Fanatics website, and scroll to NLL Lacrosse is what it's called, and boom, you get all your team merchandise there. Or you can go to a game. But we prefer to do this. It helps with the show. So, Josh Byrne. No Josh Byrne. Big deal or no big deal? Well, let's see what the fans have to say, which is why this is presented by Fanatics. Okay. We had 43 votes on this so far. And the question was, do the Buffalo Bandits need Josh Byrne to win Game 2 of the NLL Finals versus the Colorado Mammoth? The options were yes on the Mammoth win, and he certainly helped. No, Bandits win anyways. 12% say yes on the Mammoth win. 21% say no, Bandits win anyways. And then most of you, as I expected, would be confused. 67% of 43 votes said, he'd certainly help. And I agree. Jonathan C-N on Twitter says, this is such a tough question. Truthfully, it can't hurt to have him back, even though he won. He's incredible. Brandon WNY says, which I believe is West New York, so he's a Bandits fan. It would certainly help to have their most talented player. Yes. Yeah. No, I agree with that. So, again, the mysterious upper body injury, it still blows my mind. And maybe this will be one of the changes. I'm campaigning for this change to happen. That could we please see, some transparency. I don't. If a guy gets hurt at work, or somebody got hurt at work and he's out for 2 weeks, that's all I want to know. I don't like if he twisted his ankle or got dehydrated at work. I don't need to know that. But just tell me it was a work related injury. He's out for a game or out for 2. Who knows? If it's a game injury, I want transparency. I want ankle injury. I want knee injury. I want foot injury. I want hip injury. I want back injury. I want shoulder, elbow, wrist, finger. I don't care what it is. But at least tell me what's hurting so that way we can know how to bet these things. And also as a fan, if he has a severe ankle injury, I know severe could mean, at least 2 games out or at least 4 games out. Give fans something to look forward to. Again, the NBA and the NFL are so transparent for the most part with their injuries. That helps fans understand when to watch, what to watch, when to expect their favorite players back. So give me some transparency. Again, if it's work-related, you say work-related, he'll miss today's game. That's cool. I'll pray for the guy. If it's a game injury, I want to hear which play it most likely happened. I want to hear what part of the body it is, not lower body. If you say upper body, that could be elbow, that could be a chest, that could be a heart attack for crying out loud. Seriously. A lower body injury could be a torn ACL or a twisted ankle. Come on, guys. Or a sprained toenail. Come on, guys. So I need that, toe injury or whatever. Number 3, I need a general duration, minor, severe, minor, moderate, or severe. That could work. I'm okay with that. Come on, guys. All right. But for me, my answer to that question would be option B as well. I do believe that, it certainly helps, which is the obvious answer there. If I had to lean one way tonight, here's a very interesting bet for you guys tonight. DK Sportsbook, the DraftKings Sportsbook for National Lacrosse League. For the Bears to cover, it's plus 115. I'm never doing that again. Those schmucks screwed me in game 1. It's 22.5 again. I'm going to go with the under 22.5 in this game. The money line, both teams are at minus 105 and minus 125, respectively. And this right here, if you think the Mammoth are going to play spoiler again, the Mammoth are plus 400. Guys, I cannot explain to you how good of value that is. The Mammoth are plus 4-1 for the series right now. So yeah, they got to win game 2. Not a big deal. You lost by 1 without Josh Byrne. Now you're at home without Josh Byrne. Could win the game, yeah, sure. Game 3, again, plus 4-1. They've only got to win 2 games. That value is insane. It's almost unfair to DraftKings. Now, we could also be the stupid idiots who do it anyways, but $100 wins you $400. That's insane. That's by far the best value. By far the best value. Again, even if you think the Mammoth win game 2, it's minus 105. You go from Mammoth at game 2 minus 105, or if you really think the Mammoth are going to win and come back, plus 400 for the team future is insanity. You're welcome, by the way, if that hits. I swear to God, you're welcome if that hits. But man, so my best bet would actually be Mammoth plus 400. I'm not going to lie, that's insane. You cannot get better value than that anywhere in sports. Anywhere in sports. There might be a one-on-one tennis match. That's about it. But this right here, plus 400, and you're so close, is insane to me. I personally think this is so bad. I'm going to say, because I'm going to go under as my best bet, technically, I'm going to say, and this is off the cuff because I don't know what to think. You got 3.5 hours for this puppy? I think Mammoth win game 2. I don't like saying that. I want Buffalo to win this. I'm so biased right now. I want Buffalo to win this thing. They deserve this thing. Something about those pesky Mammoth, man. I got to think they win game 2 at home. We're going to game 3 on Saturday. Let's see. Where's that Friday? Hell no. We'll be right back. We're going to talk about Duke and Notre Dame. Who wins that? We'll be right back. brew presented by Byrne Coffee Company, code Daily Dive. Head to ByrneCoffeeCO.com. Check out the awesome flavors. It's coffee for gamers by gamers. Of course, Daily Dive and lacrosse fans. It's code Daily Dive at Byrne Coffee Company. Let's talk about the NCAA championship that'll be preceding the NLL championship, NLL final, should I say, game 2. Duke on Saturday beats Penn State. Penn State fans, okay, they beat Penn State. Is that better for you? In overtime. TJ Malone was really good for Penn State. Their goalie for Penn State's absolutely insane. Jack something, I forgot his name, Jack Camion, I forgot his name, but Jack something was an insane goalie for Penn State. And then the darn crease violation that wasn't called. How in the world is that rule even in place? That you can't do that. And the fact that referees made a V line is also insane. There's people that have seen the tape that are like, wow, why the one referee want to call it no goal or review it, and the other referee said, goal, we're good. That was wild. But shout out to Duke. They scored 16 goals, guys. Get over it. So, I understand that it's heartbreaking that moment, but you allowed 16 goals. Or let's say 15 for the sake of argument. You kept allowing goals, and that's an issue. Okay? As good as your goalie wasn't good enough. And I thought your goalie was great, but he wasn't good enough. Don't blame the referees. It's a bad look, but eventually, who knows if you get better. TJ Malone played his heart out. Wasn't enough. The goalie put his heart out. Wasn't enough. And this was wild. Some lacrosse player, I believe from Duke, had some injury in 2019. Had 8 surgeries and almost got his leg amputated. Was out there. Good God. Wayne Gretzky was 1,000% right when he said lacrosse is a tough sport to play. I was like, good Lord Almighty. I did not watch the Notre Dame-Virginia game. I picked Notre Dame to win. Don't know anything about those teams. I know Virginia is an ACC team. I think Notre Dame is too. I'm not sure. I know in football, obviously, they're not, which always throws me off. But no, Notre Dame did win the game in overtime for that game. I really believe Duke's going to win it. They've got Brennan O'Neill. You haven't heard of him, you should look him up. That's BRENNANO''NEILL. Brennan O'Neill is the truth in the future. Cannot wait to see what he can do in the NLL and, of course, the PLL this summer. So check that out today. It should be at 2 o'clock, probably, maybe 1 o'clock. I think it's probably 2 o'clock Eastern time. So check that out. And then, of course, NLL Finals on ESPN2 in the U.S. and TSN in Canada. Again, Brett Fruity worked his broadcasting magic and had a great interview with John Gertler Jr. That was awesome. It's great lacrosse today. And again, I really hope the Bandits win tonight because I don't think Bandits. Well, Game 3 in Buffalo would be cool. I don't know if that'd be good. Ooh, Bandits fans would be on their toes. That'd be tough. But I believe the Bandits will win Game 2. I'm sorry, not sorry. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. It's been fun. We're not done with the season. I believe we got 1 or 2 more weeks. We're probably going to do the end of this week, obviously. Might have another week, and then we got some more things planned for the off season. So please stay tuned to Daily Dive. And of course, Daily Dive Live on social media. Enjoy the games tonight. Again, Mammoth are plus 400 to win the finals right now, which is astronomical value. Let's see if Hutton Jackson tweeted me back yet. I had to plug his ad on Twitter. That's what he says. He did not, and that's okay. But I asked him, is that good value? Plus 400 ain't bad? For just 2 games to win? Not bad to me. I feel I'm learning enough. But no. Have a great rest of your day, guys. And see you tomorrow, same time, same place. We might have a champion. We don't have a championship winner. So stay tuned. Please watch the game tonight so you can be well informed by tomorrow's show. Adios. Have a great day, guys.